All should be good. Yeah, so I'm going to be running through all the tools of what I use in either product creation or product development, or even just the tools I use for marketing and stuff I use for other clients and or my clients that I work with, whether we're building small sites, stuff like that, and a few sort of tools I use for productivity. I have kind of skimmed sort of the surface of so I suppose the tools that I use the most. And I know there are loads of other sort of software applications and things that you can use. I've not included them in this presentation, and I might even just mention them or show them. But I've also compiled a larger list of everything that I use, which I'm sort of collating as I go. So if I do miss things and you know other tools, just shout out and we can share it with everyone. But it's really going to be just sort of my first webinar of a whole load of webinars that I plan to do. Hopefully I'm going to run them. I plan to do them every week. So if something comes up and I'm not going to be on, I might just change the date. Might stick around and do them on a Wednesday evening if it suits people. I know at the moment 9 o'clock is sort of reasonable time. I know of a few people who either have businesses and actually work late. One of them is actually a driving instructor, for example, and he usually finishes about 9. And I think he's going to jump on, he said, when he's gets in. So I know that, and obviously with the World Cup on, everyone has different times of watching football. And Wednesday, obviously there's no England game, so I thought it worked quite well tonight. Anyway, so I plan to do more. If you guys want more webinars and you have more questions, and probably going to focus them more on the whole sort of product creation stuff that I do, or membership sites and all that kind of stuff, or selling information products, trying to help people either create online courses and put them on the web. So that's kind of stuff we're going to be covering. And unless someone wants something specific, they're trying to do something, then we'll go around that route. I'm not going to focus too much. I know a lot of you guys know that I do a lot of WordPress stuff, so I'm not going to focus too much on that. I will show you some of the tools and things that I use with WordPress. I could probably dedicate a whole webinar to each section of different things in WordPress. So, like the membership sites and tools, like for payment gateways, shopping carts, all that kind of stuff. So I won't be going into WordPress today too much, so don't worry. Hopefully you'll have a few tools or things you can go away and try with, try them yourself, whether it's, a tracking tool or, a tool for monitoring your site, something like that. But that's the kind of stuff I'm going to be covering. So I'm going to crack straight on. We'll go into essentials, generally all the essential stuff that I use every day. And I know some of you guys would have definitely heard of them. And I'm not going to, when you see this PowerPoint like this, I'm going to try not to have it just PowerPoint slides. I'm going to try and jump to the sites to show you examples of stuff, okay? Someone says they can hear seagulls. Yes, that's right. You can hear seagulls. They're not in the room. It's all right. They're just, I'll shut the door, but it's quite warm, as I'm sure you guys know. But anyway, yeah, so essential tools we've got here, GoDaddy. Obviously, you all know GoDaddy. If you might have your own service for buying domains. I use GoDaddy, okay? It's quick, fast. I've got them all in there, and I can actually end up like transferring other domains into my GoDaddy account if I actually buy any domains from somewhere, and I find it quite easy to use. I find all their DNS stuff quite easy to change and update, so I just stick with GoDaddy. I have said this to many people before. If there's particular tools that you use and you prefer them and you like them, then just stick with them. I like GoDaddy because I can find a lot of discounts for renewals and things. I know a lot of people use 123reg in the UK. I'm not a fan of their sort of control panel. I find it quite clunky, so I don't use it. I transfer them to GoDaddy if I end up buying a domain there. So yeah, generally the stuff that I'm covering, guys, is all things that the main tools that I can use to either get a new business online quickly, or create a new product for someone, and just generally the starting stuff that we need, like domain name, hosting, Aweber for building lists. So that's the kind of sort of tools I want to sort of cover with you, so you can just get an idea of some of the stuff that I use, and you can go and use. So GoDaddy domains. I've put Brighton Host here. This is my own. I have my own server and my own sort of hosting company. I don't publicize it too much. I just use it really for either clients that I work with locally or people who just need small sites set up. And I'm not even going to try and pitch it. I'm not here to pitch anything to you, but it's my own hosting company. It's Brighton Host, and I just use it for generally a lot of sort of sites that I host for people here, local businesses here that are like not related to internet marketing type sites. They're generally like small businesses. They have they have physical offline businesses. What I will do is I'll pop across the screen every now and then so you can look at it, or what I'll do is I'll bring up a site and we can jump to a site as well as I'm going through it. So let's crack on. Is that screen, can I just ask guys, is that screen squashed up? Is it too squashed, or can you actually see it okay? I'm assuming it looks, and maybe it's just on my little viewer that I've got here, it looks like it's squashed up. Anyway, to crack on, Aweber. If you guys are building lists, building email lists and stuff, Aweber and MailChimp. I know a lot of people use Aweber and they're now moving obviously to MailChimp. MailChimp is free to start with, which is great. It's got a few limitations with the free account, like you can't sort of send out an autoresponder without like immediately after someone signs up. But it's like I think it's $10 a month for up to 2,000 leads. That's great compared to Aweber. Aweber is a much more sophisticated platform. However, it's now getting slightly more expensive, where they're charging you the amount of leads that you actually have in your Aweber account. So, and I just set up a new business with Aweber, and they pay for it yearly, and then we got charged like an extra $10 a month because they had the leads have gone up over 1,000 it was. So we've either got to go through and clean the leads, which I just thought we'd pay it one off and that was it. But anyway, so I'm probably putting new people. Sorry, I'm skipping through there. I'm putting new people onto MailChimp. So if you guys aren't doing any list building, I can't emphasize that enough. You must go and start building a list. No matter what products you're selling, what you're creating, you've got to start building an email list. Obviously, WordPress is the main tool I use for either small sites I'm creating or larger scale sites. So obviously, WordPress is it's mainly the backbone of a lot of sites we set up, and even a lot of businesses are running off it, whether they've got shopping carts or just blogging, or they're just trying to build sort of small mini sites, stuff like that. A couple of other tools here, Pingdom. Okay, if you have your own website, make sure you go and set up an account with Pingdom. It's free for one account. Okay, so what that means is you can have one account for free, which will monitor your site to make sure it's up, online. So if I just jump back to here a sec, we'll go and put in Pingdom. So this is good, a great little service, and basically they do have a paid version as well. You can check your site every 5 seconds. Okay, sorry, I'm just sliding that out of the way there. So you can monitor your site every 5 seconds, and like I say, it's free for one site, so it's definitely worth having. However, today I came across this one, which is called Robot or Uptime Robot. Okay, so this is apparently free for 50 sites. Okay, so Uptime Robot. Let me just make sure I get the screen up for you. There we go. And I've just I came across it today, reading about alerts, site alerts. This is it, and they do 50 monitors for checking your site every 5 minutes. And this alone, these tools are great to have, especially if you have a host, someone like HostGator or like Bluehost. I've personally gone away from HostGator. I found the service has dropped quite a bit since they got bought out by the large company. I forgot their name. If you go and Google it, you can read about them. And also Bluehost, they're owned by they're under the same company, and their servers are slightly, on the shared hosting accounts, the servers are so full. I think they're just getting more and more sites, and it just becomes a bit slower. And also, because I'm in the UK, I found out one of my servers in HostGator was getting blocked just by some internet traffic thing that I had no idea. The guys just said to me, there's nothing we can do about it because of your location, where the server is in America. There's nothing we can do to speed that up for you. And they were just telling me it's fine for them, but for me here in the UK, it was rubbish. So I just ditched them and set up my own account. And my servers are now located in London, and it's just a reseller account I've got. But I know the servers in London, and we're using like what's called a clustered cloud network, so that this one site is effectively distributed onto multiple servers in London. So if one server goes down, I know my site is up on another server pretty quickly, well, if anything, it's up instantly. So that's why having these kind of services like Uptime Robot, it allows you to monitor your site and get a report back. So when you see people say they've got 99% uptime, this is the kind of thing they're running. So if you have, especially if you have a business site, you definitely want to be monitoring it. If it's a site either selling products or it's a shopping cart site, go and monitor it, and it just gives you a good understanding of how sort of good the server company is that you're using. And I started using this on my HostGator account, and it was poor, really poor. So, sorry, I was using Pingdom before, but I'm now going to look at this and go through and probably set it all up and join it. It's free to join. It says 50 sites every 5 minutes. Obviously, that 5 minutes there is a slight downside with being 5 minutes, is the fact that a server could actually be down and up again in 5 minutes. It can even be down for like a minute or 2 minutes. So that's just one slight downside, but you can monitor 50 sites, so it's free. Definitely worth a look. The Pingdom is pretty good because it's obviously I think it's every 5 seconds they monitor. So that's why I like Pingdom. Anyway, right, FileZilla, another tool that I use. If you don't know what FileZilla is, an FTP program. You definitely want to have an FTP program in your toolbox, because no matter, at some point you'll have to do some FTPing, put in some files on the web. So definitely one to have. One thing is I probably don't do so much FTPing at the moment, because I end up using WordPress, and I know a couple of people on the webinar tonight who recently had emailed me. They were trying to do stuff, and they were uploading sales pages and download links and things, and I think it's becoming a slight headache for them. But I tend to not even do anything. If I can't do it in WordPress right now, then I'll have to use FileZilla and do things manually. But right now, there's so much you can do just with WordPress, whether you're selling like I say, a shopping cart, selling multiple products, or just delivering one digital download, and you can secure all the files and everything. So FileZilla is just a tool that I have to have when I need to FTP or upload bulk files and things. And because some of the actual services I use, even for video, I can FTP files up. It's just a bit quicker than trying to use the web, uploaders and things. Other essentials: Optimized Press 2. Yeah, this is a must if you're using WordPress, definitely for your sales pages and your opt-in pages. And I've started building membership pages with it as well, and shopping cart type pages. Obviously, Optimized Press, it's going to be used for people who either using it for list building and creating sales pages. And again, I'm not just talking inside the internet sort of marketing niche. I use this with people outside of that, like any sort of online. They've got offline businesses. They might have like wine businesses, for example, and we can build sort of lead generation pages with it. So it's definitely one to have. Zamzar, I use this quite a lot if I need to convert files. Okay, so Zamzar is a file conversion program. Someone's chatting away here. Let's see what we've got. Dan, you can upload files. Yes, you can upload files directly from your web hosting instead. Yeah, so most web hosts, so my server, for example, our control panel, you can go in and upload files. Yeah, so that's the same. Most, if you have cPanel, then you can also upload files through cPanel or inside your file manager. So you don't need an FTP program. Most of them will have that. I'm not actually using cPanel anymore, only because cPanel can't be used on clustered cloud networks. It has to be dedicated to one server. So I've ditched cPanel altogether just because of that reason, because I can't have it on a cloud server. But what we use at the moment, we can upload files. So yes, guys, if you've got any questions as we go, you can either just fire it away, or you can wait till the end. So it's entirely up to you guys. Zamzar video delivery, I use Vimeo. Okay, so Vimeo Pro account. Should have put Pro there. You're on a Vimeo Pro account. It's $199 a year, and you can upload, I think it's something like 20 gigabytes a week. Okay, so 20 gigabytes of video a week. Now that doesn't, if you're producing face-to-camera videos or even just screencasts, your screencasts of your computer, they won't be big at all, but sometimes video to camera, if you can do a 10-minute video, it might be, by the time it's rendered and complete, it could be a gigabyte or more, but you probably will never hit that limit at all. So I use Vimeo Pro for all of my video. I'm starting to put all of my videos on there because the Pro account allows you to put the videos behind paid, membership sites. So there's no restrictions. The Vimeo free account, you can't put it behind paid walls, like membership sites. You have to use the Pro version. Obviously for video, there's also EasyS3 and EVS, another player. I don't use them so much now, only because you then have to also pay the Amazon S3 digital rates as well. Out of Amazon S3 here, I do use it for storage and I do use it for the occasional video. You just have to pay the bandwidth transmission rates. They are nothing at all. I mean, they're 16 cents or something like that per gigabyte. But the only reason is I like Vimeo because it gives me all my stats. It gives me player stats from when the video was opened, if it's played all the way through. I can get locations of where, over the world. I can see how many times it's been loaded in different countries. And I can do a lot with it with security and also a few other things. I could do a webinar just on Vimeo because I think it's a great little tool. I can show you some at the end, actually, some of the tips on it. Amazon S3, again, it's obviously the S3 storage, and they've got loads of whole other bag of tools with Amazon S3. I've put Google Apps here. We'll go into that in a second. Skype and Skype phone number. Guys, if you guys have got businesses, or even you're just doing or starting up your own businesses, you can get a Skype phone number for a few pounds a month, or it works out a few. I think it's let's have a look actually. We'll jump to Skype and quickly have a look. The good thing about Skype, the phone number, is that you can choose any number in your region. So if you live, whether you're in Bristol or you're in Scotland or you're in Manchester, you can buy a number within your area, so you can get your area code. And obviously the beauty of it is that you can forward it to your Skype, either your Skype app if you've got your mobile phone, your Android or iPhone, and or it just rings inside your Skype account on your desktop. So that's it's just so easy to set up. So effectively you can have a phone number, in no time. I'm just looking on here to see. Let's have a look. Shop. I know that Skype is continually updating this site, I suppose, just to keep up with the times. For yourself employees, Skype credit. I think I've got a feeling it might be about £11 for the year. My number. Features business. There's business could be there. Skype to Skype, mobile landlines. Where are we? I'd be able to find it quickly, but anyway, Skype number, definitely worth getting if you want a Skype number, and obviously you can use that for any, here we go, Skype, found it quicker by Googling it. £2.92 a month, okay? So £3.33 including that. Definitely worth having a Skype number, especially if you're doing any kind of live support, okay? So it's one of my tools, and obviously Skype then comes under that whole bracket. I use Skype. My Skype is actually running probably permanently every day, and the beauty is it also works on my phone as well, okay? So I can be away from my desk and I can still have the same Skype conversation with someone just through messaging on Skype, or I can make a phone call if I've got Wi-Fi in a cafe and I'm on my phone. I can make a phone call on Skype. If the Skype number rings, it comes through to my phone. If the Skype app's not open, it just makes life so much easier, especially when it comes to productivity and things, okay? So it just means I can do more and I don't have to always be at my desk. So I've put Skype and Skype phone number. Google Apps, I've just said I'll cover that again. It's a whole bracket of stuff comes under Google Apps. I use it for so many different tools effectively. So it's got everything. My main email application is Google Apps. So I use email. I also use Gmail as well. So with Google Apps, you can have an email account which is associated to a web name. Okay, so like for example, my david@davidfrosdick.com, it runs off Google Apps, which is it's basically Gmail for the domain name. Okay, that used to be free. This is now actually a paid service. Luckily I got in when it was still free, and it works about £3 a month at the moment. So any new businesses I work with, if they're using something like Outlook, or and if their email is set up on one machine and certain machines in the office, I tend to ditch that and put them all into Google Apps. For a small business, it might cost, I think it's like £30 per user for the year, but it just means they can have their email remotely, okay, anywhere. This is something I try to drum into people, even people who are just starting on the web. Having an online mail account allows you to just access your mail anywhere, okay, rather than having Outlook, which if it crashed, like my PC done the other week, I came back from being away at my parents for I think just for the weekend, 3 days, come back, turned the PC on, it was sluggish, and then I rebooted the PC and it just didn't start, it crashed, totally crashed, and that was the end of that. So it's probably working fine. I've just got to remap the drive or something, or just wipe it. Luckily, I use Google Drive, which is here. Look, 100 gigabytes of storage for $1.99. Okay, dollars that is. So $1.99, you get 100 gigabytes of storage. Luckily, I had everything in there that I have for client stuff or any other sort of work stuff. I lost a few things off the PC, but it's nothing that it's not the end of the world, basically. I use all my pictures and things I sync online to Google Plus and stuff, family photos and things like that, and I can store them all also in Drive. Google Drive, you can have a terabyte of data for $9. Okay, look, or $10. A terabyte of data. Okay, that is a lot. I imagine with all of us on here, let's see here, we've got like 15 or so of us here. We probably don't even between us have a terabyte of data. We might, maybe just, but someone says, yeah, no chance. Yeah, okay. Seriously, that's such good value, and I can't emphasize that enough for people. Start backing up your data, really. I literally just turned my computer on, back on and off, and it crashed, and it was just Windows. I'm now Mac all the way for me, okay? I've just switched to Mac, and I've now got to use everything on Mac, and I'm loving it, which is good. I'll put Google Plus here. Again, I use Google Plus for both business and for obviously backing up all of my pictures. The beauty is that I can take a picture on my phone, and once I've synced it, for example, it just goes straight into my Google Plus account, and I can then put it into different folders and things, and then I can share stuff, or I can take stuff from Google Plus images if it's a client photo or something like that. And yeah, I mean, it's just got, they're making it better and better. The image features are far better than that of Facebook, and the quality, it retains the quality. But what I can do is quickly, the beauty of being able to take a picture on my phone, come home and then edit it on the desktop, and then use it on for a Facebook post or a Facebook update or something like that. Let's just quickly jump into this. I'm gonna see my photos. Just on the other screen, I'll bring it across in a sec, guys. I've just got a lot of family photos as well as a lot of work stuff, all mixed, that's not a great thing, but it's backed up, so that's why it's there. I was going to show you the image editor. They've made and added new features again this week. I think just to allow you to enhance images. Let's just let that load up there. It looks like it's running slow, probably because I'm doing so much on this machine. Okay, yeah, calendar as well. So these all things come under productivity a bit, like definitely if you're using with my Gmail and calendar, I can sync the calendar from my phone, into my Gmail account on my Gmail calendar. So everything I can put in there, it comes to my phone as well, and vice versa. So things like that just allow me to know what's going on either in private life and work life. And again, the beauty is I don't have to just come to my desktop and see my calendar like in Outlook or in the Mail app. It's online. I can sync it anywhere. So that's just one of the real cool things. Obviously, again with Drive, Google Drive, you have all the applications like Google Docs. You have let's bring this into here. You have Google Docs. You have your Google Spreadsheets. You have presentation, like this presentation I'm doing right now is in Google Docs. Okay, so it's not like PowerPoint. I'm not using the Mac version, which I forgot the name of what they call it. I'm not using Evernote, I think it is. I'm not using any of this. It's all done in Google Apps. I'll bring this over to you to see. Here's the Google Plus. So obviously I've got hundreds of pictures in here, but they're making this image editor so good. So I just took this picture actually the other day. This guy here you see in the middle, the yellow top on. I think you can all see that. I'm pretty sure it's showing. Basically, I think he cycled from London to Brighton on a chopper, and I imagine his bum was hurting by the end of it. Anyway, you can see him just there. So this is the image editor that they've rolled out, and these kind of things allow you to, just enhance some images and just do a bit more to them, especially if you're using them for things like Facebook. And what we can do is blur this, look, and we can drag this in. We can focus this. Let's see if we've got, can move this blur. But there's just so much you can do with it. The blur, you've got your retro effects. Okay, and I know that a lot of the mobile applications have this as well, like Facebook has it, when you can upload a picture and change all the settings and stuff. But this is just a bit more advanced, and it allows you to, I can do stuff here, save it directly here into my Google Plus account and download it and then use it in some kind of Facebook post or whatever I'm using it for, an image somewhere. In any kind of marketing really, or even for the web, if I've got something interesting for a blog post, I can usually tweak it in here, play around with it and just spice it up a bit, so it doesn't look so boring basically. Yeah, Drive, I said about Google Drive there. One thing is, when I use Google Drive, I also have all of the mobile app versions. Sorry, let me just open my door here. I have the mobile app versions of all the Google Drive. So I have Google Docs, which is on my phone as well, okay? And I also have the spreadsheet. I have the Google Docs, I have the Google Drive app. So if I put something inside Google Drive, let me just bring this across for you here. So this is inside my Google Drive. So I have a lot of client stuff in there, but I have this whole thing. I can sync it with my phone, so I can access and get files in my phone. I can also share stuff. So if there's clients that I work with, we share stuff through Google Drive. Google Drive's a bit like Dropbox. A lot of you might use Dropbox. I use Google Drive. So it's the same kind of stuff. I can share things, and the thing is I can do it all from my phone as well, okay? And you can see here we've got a create button, and here we have document, which is like Word, spreadsheet, forms. I can create forms, right? So if I want to run a survey, I create a form. Drawings, and you can add these additional apps in and things. Presentations, like say this presentation I'm doing. So I can do all that stuff in here. One of the beauties is, one of the main things is actually being able to create a document in Google Drive and then exporting it to PDF. Okay, so when I hear people say, how can I make an ebook into a PDF? This is the easiest way ever. It's you create a document. I can just create this document like this and just call this PDF. And I just go to File, Download as PDF. Okay, and that'll just prompt, as soon as I click on that, it'll just prompt me to download this file as a PDF. Okay, so you could write your whole ebook. If you're trying to make an ebook a PDF, you could write the whole thing in this file, download as PDF. Okay, so it's so easy. The beauty of it as well is that everything you do is constantly being saved in the cloud. So, if you get a power cut, the computer go down, something like that, it's saved. Okay, you have a working version of it inside Google Drive. You can just come back onto another machine and find it, and it's just everything's there stored in the cloud. Okay, so I can do a whole webinar on Google Apps. There's so much stuff in there that just helps me for productivity and creating products or sharing files with clients and things that we're working on. It's a really great tool. Everyone should use it, just the features it has. Okay, analytics and tracking. If you have your own website, you'll definitely want to be doing some tracking. of some kind. Obviously, Analytics is a free version or a free program run by Google, and it's superb. It rolls out. They've just added another new feature where you can track down to gender and the age of people, what they're trying to, the data they're trying to gather. But you do your A/B split testing. So for people who don't know what A/B split testing is, that allows you to split test pages on a website. So you can have a page like A, for example, and a page B, and you can test to see which page is the best. You could change the headlines and stuff like that. If you have a business, you must be doing split testing. It's a key thing, because one thing you'll be running which you think works perfectly, or it's a good headline. If you test it with another headline, you'll soon find out which one is the better, and then you can work your way through the page, whether you're showing videos and things like that. So you can do all that inside Analytics. It does get a bit technical, but it's worth having a Google Analytics account, just for, even if you're going to get to use it later on a bit, okay? Another one is ClickTail. This is ClickTail here. Again, a great program. They do have a free plan. One thing with ClickTail is it gives you heat maps, okay? So Google Analytics does have this. I just don't think it's as good as the ClickTail one. Basically, a heat map allows you to see, you can see this little image up here on the left, but it allows you to see kind of the hot points of a web page. Now, these things are really good, especially for shopping carts, because you get to see where people are clicking most, or where they're hovering, or where the mouse is hovering. It just gives you a good insight into how your visitors are using your site, okay? And whether you work for your clients and things. These are great little programs. Some of them a bit technical, but it gives you back enough data that you can go to someone, and if you can see hot areas on a website, people are hovering in that area, you could either move things around. So you could move your opt-in form in that area. You could put product offers in that area. You just got to try and change things based off what this stuff gives you, the reports it gives you back, and it's superb. Like, it allows you to track so much stuff. So that's ClickTail. It's free. There are loads of others, okay? Some of them are paid. I put here Optimizely as one, Unbounce is another. They basically, some of them are paid, some of them get quite expensive. So it depends. If you're a small business, then obviously you might be able to afford some of them. Some of them, if you're a one-man band and you're just starting out, whatever you're doing, then you might not want to be paying like $50 just to do some tracking. Here's bring across Unbounce. This is a very cool service as well. These guys actually create landing pages for your business. But I think, see, the pricing starts at $50. Starts at $50 a month. It's probably a bit limited on what you get. So, I mean, for a business that's producing good revenue from their website, $199 is probably nothing. And they can also, the data that these things report back is pretty good. Look, they've got A/B split testing as well, so you can actually just create all these pages within Unbounce, and they are all made with, well, you can have split testing. It's all pretty much, drag and drop editors, stuff like that. So it's all easy to use, nothing sort of too technical. It's just really when you want to fork out the money for that one. And there's a few others. Dashboard Junkie, I put that in here. This basically can turn your Google Analytics into like some really funky dashboards that can give you back some, if you're a stat geek and you like stats, then Dashboard Junkie is probably for you. I'll bring it up here. The reason I've thrown this one in is because I know there are a few stat geeks out there, and I'm probably one myself at some point. It depends what you're trying to, depends really what you want to give back. If you want to show a client data, I bring up this one, SEO. If you use Google Analytics, you might find it complicated, okay? This kind of can simplify the data that you're seeing with inside Analytics, okay, if that kind of makes sense. Analytics it can be quite confusing. So this thing can actually create some nice, just some nice, easier looking dashboards, okay? You see here, this one's like sales, call it sales cockpit. So you could, in Analytics, if you have a shopping cart, things like Analytics, it can give you the data right down to how much people are spending and the entry points when they're visiting a site. Okay, that's the kind of information you're getting from analytics. So it's advanced stuff, but it's really good data. Big businesses, thrive off this stuff. They need this to find out what their visitors are doing, how they're getting there, what their entry points, what their exit points are. This kind of stuff is, it's big money in this kind of stuff just for businesses who need the data, for reporting. Optimizely, Unbound, you can check them two out. Outsourcing, whether you're outsourcing, your own design or your virtual assistant stuff. Dan says he lost audio. 212. Should we just check everyone is still with us? Let's see where we are. If you can hear me, can everyone hear me? Just a quick check. I'm gonna assume you all can. Just post it in the chat window. You can just put. Let's put. Yeah, John says he can hear us. Okay, Dan. Maybe Dan's in Gibraltar, so he's probably maybe the monkeys are attacking your internet connection over there. So hopefully Dan can. Anyway, I don't know if I need to message him. I'll just say we're still here, Dan. Hope you can hear us. Anyway, so yeah, where are we? Like outsourcing. I don't know if any of you guys do any outsourcing. If you do, or if you do it, it depends how you use it. I use for my outsourcing. If I do stuff, it's generally either things that I haven't got time to do myself, which either I'll be working with another client. So it'll be stuff that clients have approved, they don't mind me doing. I generally don't use much of it for clients. It's generally for my own things like freelance. Freelance has now got .co.uk, so you have got .com and obviously .co.uk. Obviously, freelance is pretty cool for all the technical stuff. Again, I've got a resource list of so many other different freelance or other outsourcing services that they're sort of specific, whether you want a coding thing or a design kind of stuff, or you want things written. So there's so many of these. PPH is people per hour. That's what that one is, people per hour. And that is, you can generally find everyone on there. You just got to be careful. It really depends on what you're getting done. Okay, so people per hour depends what you're getting done. Like any of these, some of you guys would have heard of Fiverr. I do have a list of good Fiverr gigs as such. There's actually people that have produced me good products, whether it's things like getting audio transcribed or getting something, like an infographic made or something I can't do myself. There's also there's a lot of crap on there as well. Okay, so generally I don't use Fiverr for all the other. I mean, people selling everything on there, it's rubbish. I don't use it for any SEO stuff because I don't trust the people. I don't use it for any sort of client stuff. I have the odd occasional video sometimes if someone wants something done with video, but it's pretty good. I put 99 Designs here. 99 Designs is for designs. If you want logos created or you want to buy ready-made logos, just go to 99 Designs. Freelance have this similar service where you can now put up a contest. 99 Designs allows you to put up a contest. You put a brief of your design, your logo design, and someone goes and starts work on it, and you can just sort of give feedback on all the designs. They have 3 different levels of payments. Obviously, the lower one is £199, I think, or dollars, and then it goes up from there. So you can obviously, if you're paying the £400, you're going to get more. You'll get better designs, is what they say. They also have a marketplace of ready-made logos, which are $99, which are superb. And you can also buy the full rights to it for $199, which means no one else can use it. It actually comes off 99 Designs. So go and look in their marketplace. It's 99designs.com. Go and look at their marketplace there, and they basically, if you jump into 99 Designs, that some of these designs in here are beautiful. I'm just going to scroll straight down. I want ready-made logos here at the bottom, and you can see here This is a green. You just type in, you can type in your category here, like color, look, accountant. Type your accountant or your color logos you want. There's a dog food one. And a lot of them are a bit American. We would say that being, some of them are a bit cheesy, you know, but they've got a real American theme, but some of them are beautiful as well. For $99, look, I mean, the thing is, you can get them to put your company name on it, get an image done, and, you know, hey presto, you've got a logo. So simple stuff, 99 designs. Dribble is another similar site. Some great designers on Dribble. Dribble is more advanced. I'd say that people even do websites and things. I've put here Dimple Art. I'm going to show you Dimple Art because this is an excellent service which, you know, you would have seen on other sites. Okay, so Dimple Art, these guys do caricatures. Okay, so if you want a caricature done of yourself, you would have seen websites that have these, and they're only $30 odd, $32 for one. Okay, and they've got obviously all these other upsell services, but generally, so if you wanted to make if you're doing your own website and you want to make your own profile, you would give them the picture and they would turn it into caricature for you. Okay, so it's definitely one. You would have seen lots of sites out there that use, or they have, you know, caricatures and things. So yeah, Dimple Art. Productivity, some tools for productivity, which I really recommend you guys get. One is RoboForm or LastPass. Okay, and them two, RoboForm and LastPass, they are password managers. Okay, which means you will know this. If you're joining sites, you're joining forums, even if you're now, even when you're sort of getting support from a company, you need to get you have to set up another support account. Things like RoboForm, I think I've got mine open here somewhere. I've got it here. Like, this is RoboForm on the Mac. Again, it syncs over to my phone. I'm not going to log in. Obviously, I've probably got a few hundred different passwords. It just means I have one password to access RoboForm, and then I can go in and get all my other passwords for every other site. And it costs $10 or $12 for the year. And LastPass is $1 a month, I think. And again, that's pretty good as well. I've used RoboForm for years, so I just stick with RoboForm. And I started to use LastPass, but end up having so many passwords in RoboForm, and the import process wasn't as user-friendly, so I've just not moved. RoboForm works fine for me. And I just recommend you have it because all I have to do is I can go to a site, click on the little extension in Chrome, and log into a site. So RoboForm, LastPass, definitely two tools you want to get, or one tool. Pick one of them, save your passwords in it. Dragon Dictation. If you know what Dragon Dictation is, this allows you to speak into your computer, and it converts that into text. Okay, so this is great, especially if you write a lot of articles, or you're even maybe writing a book. You could effectively talk a book. Okay, and they have the app for the iPhone as well, so you can talk into your iPhone, and it actually works again if you're sending a text message or something to someone. You could talk it into your Dragon Dictation app, and it converts it into text. Somebody did say to me they use that when they're driving to send text messages. I really wouldn't recommend that. It was in America, but anyway, don't think you can use it for shortcutting, especially when you're driving. Anyway, I put here MacBook. Let's go back there. MacBook speech record. Okay, what I mean by that is on my MacBook, I can shortcut keys, and it brings up the speech tool, and I can talk into it, and it just converts it all to text. And it works actually far better than my Dragon Dictation app on my phone, which I was quite surprised with. And I think I spoke like about 500-word article the other day, and I was amazed at how good it was. So I'm going to start using that more and more because it just allows me I can write stuff quicker than actually writing and typing it. So on the MacBook, if you've got a MacBook, look for the speech, voice to speech, I think it is, or speech to text, something like that. I just Googled it and found the shortcut keys for it. I put here Receipt Bank as another productivity. Receipt Bank is a little app I have on my phone that allows me to take pictures of receipts, okay, and then I can sync. So basically, this is Receipt Bank here. I get the app on my phone. It allows me to take a picture of a receipt, and I just put it into my Receipt Bank account. It just uploads automatically. You can then go into Receipt Bank and you can assign it if you have to clients, or you can just put it in expenses. You know, you can say this was, you know, a coffee at £2, whatever it was, and you can just mark the expense off. Little things like this just save me time when I try and keep my accounts up to date. It's a great little app, and they do have a service where you pay. Let's just have a look. They have a service you can just send them. You can send them a shoebox of receipts, and they'll put them all into Receipt Bank for you. And it is £120. That's changed, I think. Where is it? Let's multi-user plan. They just have. I think it used to just be a one-off payment for the year. Items processed a month, 675 is 125. They've changed this pricing actually. They used to have just one-off. It was a one-off fee for the year. Either way, it's such a time saver. If you have a lot of receipts, just pay the money or get the free app and do it yourself. You can actually just post them. You know, literally post them a box full of receipts, and they put them all into your Receipt Bank. They scan them in, and for accounting purposes, they're allowed. The HMRC accept them. Obviously, don't quote me on this kind of stuff. You need to get your accountant to check it. I'm not an accountant. I'm not going to give you financial advice and all that kind of disclaimer. But where I've read, they're allowed it. You're allowed to accept it. So it's approved for accounting purposes. Basically, it's just a photo of your receipt. Colorzilla is an app I use in Chrome. So it allows me to pick any color from any website that I'm on. Great little app. Same with Window Resizer. I use this for resizing windows to make screencasts, okay? So really cool little extensions for Chrome. Colorzilla Window Resizer. Product creation. I'm going to do a whole webinar on product creation, really just focusing on the stuff I do, the products I create, how I create them, all that kind of stuff, which I know a lot of people actually want to see. So I'm going to focus more on that. John says, is RoboForm free? Yes, John, they do have a free version which allows you up to, I think, 10 passwords. 10 passwords for the automatic login, okay? But once you get out of 10, it doesn't work for that. You know, you have to just actually manually sort of either drag and drop or copy the password in. But it's $10. I think RoboForm is seriously, it's like $10. It'd be one of the best investments you'll ever make for online. Just jump over now and see the ones I probably have an article on my site with about it, but it's $9.95 for the first year. Although then it's $20. They do have offers on Twitter occasionally. When you come to renew, you just tweet them and say, I'm looking to renew. Have you got any discount codes? Or I'll go to LastPass, and they'll usually give you a discount code. It did me anyway. So I think anyway, $20. If it's $20, one of the best investments. And the beauty is you can sync everything online into like RoboForm everywhere, and it comes into your phone. That's the beauty of it is, and I have access to all of the sites that I need access to through RoboForm on my phone if I wasn't at home. So, yes. So where were we? Optimize Press product creation. Optimize Press 2 is obviously the latest version. Again, I could do a webinar just on that. I've put here in Vato. I hope you guys are still with us. We're nearly running up for an hour, so I know you've all probably got things to do, football to watch and all that kind of stuff, but I'll just carry on going. I've got a few other things to cover. Hopefully, obviously, if you're sort of awake, that's good. Here's Envato, okay? You've probably used one of these services before, either Theme Forest, where you buy themes, Code Canyon. This alone has so much stuff in it. The main ones I use are Code Canyon and Audio Jungle, okay? Audio Jungle is all your royalty-free music. So if you have music or you want music for video intros, this is where you come to. You can just scroll through thousands and thousands and thousands. Look, sound effects, okay? All royalty-free. You can buy it, buy any audio and things. You can use it. Code Canyon's where you go for scripts. you need scripts. Theme Forest, they do have loads of themes on there for WordPress themes, okay, and other themes, even like Shopify, stuff like that. So Envato is a very cool. It's a handy site if you need to jump, especially for the audio, and then you can get get like scripts and things made. Here's another one I'm going to show you. This is called Splashio. Basically, these guys make you video intros. If you've seen in my videos, you'll probably notice I got it from Splashio, and it's pretty poor. I should have got a logo done, so I need to get a logo made. But you can see here, they've got a few different kinds of animated logos. If you click on, you might hear the audio. I'm not sure if the audio is going to come through in this webinar, but I'll just play this one. There you go, look, and then ink drops. And the swooshes away, unfolding. Okay, you get the idea. They've got loads, well, I'll say loads, they've got 6 there. Sorry, more than 6. Lens wipe. Anyway, Splashio is about $40, I think, for you basically choose your thing, choose your music. I just choose that, submit my selection. $47, you can get an intro done, okay? Definitely one to have in your swipe file. And even, I mean, I've had clients give me logos and they want video intros made. You can do it with that. Obviously, if you put the work in, you can resell it. There's nothing wrong with you reselling that if you're adding additional, especially if you make the logo as well. You could, as an added service, you could provide a video intro for someone. But definitely one to use. Let's have a look here. Where are we? Okay. Let's take them out now. Where we are. Okay. Mingler. If you guys want to run teleseminars or anything like that, this program, to show you here, is actually company based. I'm not sure it's actually based here in Brighton. Where is it? Singular. Let me just check this. It's not coming up. Maybe I've got the wrong name actually. Can't. I'll find this one. This is basically free. It's conference calling, but you dial in. You do pay a rate for it, which is, I just think it's better than free conference call. Free conference call, you're calling America. This is a UK company, and it's Mingler. I spelled it wrong there. It's not Guler. It's Mingler. Here we go, Mingler. Okay, these guys are a UK company, and the dial-in number is 08445 number. Okay, but you get the recording. So if you're going to run any teleseminars, you can effectively run the webinar of a teleseminar through this program, and you get the recording back. Okay, so these kind of things are so good in product creation. If you need to interview someone and record it, you can just both get on the phone, dial into your account, and it's done. I would use obviously Meeting Burn like I'm using now, but if I didn't have to record the screen, I didn't want to, I could just use this service, and you get recording in MP3. That's such a good tool. It's Mingler. If you can see it up there in the address bar, I'll change this PowerPoint so it's just Mingler. A great tool. I put SpeechPad there. SpeechPad is basically a transcript service. Okay, I do use Fiverr as well for transcription. These guys are $1 per audio. So it depends what you're doing with the audio, and it depends how much or how long your audio is. But it's $1 per audio. And these kind of things, again, if you have a 40-minute audio, it can get expensive, some audios, but getting things transcribed into text means you then got a text version of a podcast or whatever it is you're running, okay? Or you might even talk your whole book, if you're writing a book or writing some articles, you could talk them into your computer, send it, get it transcribed, and you've got it straight back to text. I've put here Meeting Burner. This is like the Meeting Burner is a new webinar software that I'm using, and I hope it's working good for all you guys, and I hope the recording works. All the tests I was doing with my mother have been perfect, I think. So I'm hoping that this one records. It says recording now. Meeting Burner, we can have up to 1,000 people, so hopefully I'll get these webinars up to 1,000 people. That'd be good, and we can record them all from here. More product creation. Obviously, ScreenFlow is the Mac version of Camtasia, and it's 100 times cheaper. I think it's like $99 actually. But you can get Camtasia for Mac. So I use ScreenFlow for video editing and recording the computer screen. So all my screencasts I do in ScreenFlow on the Mac. Camtasia, Snagit, Jing, they're all from TechSmith. Jing is a great little app just for quickly being able to record up to 5-minute video and share with someone, or just being able to take a quick shot of your computer and sharing it. Jing is so good. And I've put in here Vimeo again, and EVS, which is Easy Video Suite, which is the, I said earlier about the video sort of delivery suite. EVS is, I've never used EVS. It has lots of features. I've not personally used it. I think I checked it with one other person, logged into it and had a look around. I just don't have a need for it. It does have a few features, but I find Vimeo works so well for me. So that's my tool for products and things. And I've put here iMovie. Again, iMovie is free with the Mac. Windows Movie Maker is obviously a free program. And Audacity and GarageBand, both programs for recording audio. GarageBand, podcast, something if you're doing a podcast or you want to put an audio interview together. And the same with Audacity for your PC, you can use that. So if you want to create audio type products or you're just doing anything for your business, an interview, either of them programs will work, for recording, and then you can get the file, turn it into an MP3, which you could then use. There's so many ways to use audio. It's endless. I hope you're all awake still. Not long. I've got a few other slides here, and then I'm going to just show you. Well, that's it. I've got a few other slides, and then you can all, any questions, if you have any, we can answer them. Help Scout here. Okay, Dan says, I'm back. That was quite a long time, Dan, that you weren't hearing any audio. As far as I know, everyone else has had audio, so sorry about that. Definitely something in Gibraltar that's, okay. Jess could hear fine, yeah, that's cool. Everyone else can hear as far as I'm aware. No one else is, Harry, okay. A couple of other people have said, yeah, it's fine. That's cool. Okay, look, customer support. If you do have a business or when you scale up your business, you might want a support desk. Help Scout is something I've used now for a couple of years. Basically, Help Scout is really just an email sort of inbox as such, but it allows you to handle support, but just via email, okay? So you don't have to have a support desk or anything to log into. If I'm going to use a support desk, it'll be Zendesk or desk.com, okay? They're the two that I've tested thoroughly, and I'm looking to set up actually something with using Zendesk soon, only because I need to store tickets. But Help Scout, otherwise I'll be using Help Scout. Help Scout's an email solution. Some of these are paid. Zendesk works out like, I think they're a few dollars a month for one user, or they come like, or it's up to 3 users for like $3 a month. Help Scout have a free version for 3 users. Obviously there is branding in their emails. The reason Help Scout's so good is I can reply via email. It goes to Help Scout and then it sends off to the customer. So it just looks, the customer's always getting an email from my support address. But so it doesn't mean I have to go log into I don't have to log into a support desk to answer the ticket. I can just do it via email. 2 desks. If you do any customer support, my Help Scout's my favorite. Then Desk is pretty good as well, but I'm using Zendesk at the moment just because it's a bit of a learning curve. What we've got here, webinars, just like you're on now. Webinars, we have Meeting Burner, okay? Meeting Burner is pretty it's pretty good so far. It's quite a new platform, so and it's a bit cheaper than GoToWebinar. I've actually not put GoToWebinar there on that list. It should be. Obviously, GoToWebinar is now, you pay me £40 a month for GoToWebinar, even the basics. Right, that's GoToMeeting. But there's another couple here. Anytime Meeting is an excellent tool. Let me just see if I get my screen back. Or it might be called Any Meeting, actually. I think I've written that. Yeah, it's Any Meeting. I've tested this program. It's a great service, but it's just ads are shown, okay? That's the only thing. But if you just want to run a free webinar and you don't mind the ads, you can have up to 200 attendees for free. Okay, it's easy to use, and you can even have webcam stuff like Hangout going as well. I love this for when I tested it with someone that was great. The only thing is I wanted to do recordings, but for recordings I can only have 25 people, and then I'm paying $18 a month, and I was like, okay, I might as well start looking at Meeting Burner if I'm going to pay for it. Okay, so, but a really good tool. And the other one I've put here is Join Me, or it's join.me, and this is quite a new service as well. They have, I can't remember the pricing. That's up here. Look, I've tested this a couple of times, and now obviously I'm now on the Meeting Burner. I think this works on mobile as well as something, but it's just another one. If you really want to run your own webinars, if you want to run them, go and use Any Meeting, because it's free. You don't mind the ads, and if you then start running a lot, then you could look to pay. You might want to go with GoToWebinar or Meeting Burner or something like that. Or by all means, Google Hangouts. You'll see if you're not sure of Google Hangouts, you can be running your own live Hangouts. You can run private ones within circles, but most of them are generally, Hangouts really are all private, but you can, if you want to record them, it records into your YouTube account, they are then public. So if you want to run a private recorded webinar, then that's not going to happen because you can't do that with Hangouts, okay? So, but it is a great service, and again, obviously, you can be looking at the camera, and you can see the person who's talking. So it's pretty good. I put here marketing, CRM, or whatever customer tool and automation. You guys would have probably heard of Infusionsoft and Ontraport. They're the two big daddies of the CRM world. These guys, Ontraport's $249 a month. Infusionsoft's $199 for the basic version. So it's you've got like Infusionsoft. They also have an introduction fee, which you can probably negotiate down a little bit. But these two tools are, once you have a good suite of products, then I would recommend getting one of them. If you want to automate a lot of stuff, you can put people into what's called like sequences. So you can, based on a particular action that someone takes from an email, you can decide on where they go next. So for example, John on this webinar, if he clicked a certain link in the email that I sent him, I could start him on another sequence doing something else within a whole funnel of emails, okay? And then if someone else clicks something else, then they could see they could go through another funnel of marketing. So it just gets so advanced, but automation is really a key thing. I put here, this one is called AW Pro Tools, okay, .com. If you've not used this basically turns Aweber into a automated marketing tool, and it's $29 a month. So if you don't want to spend like $199 on Infusion or $240 on Ontraport, then go and look at AW Pro Tools. It's $29 a month. And what they actually do allows you to tag stuff inside your Aweber account. It basically uses Aweber's API, but what you can do, you can effectively have your own Infusionsoft for $29 a month. So if you have a big enough list, or you have enough, again, if you've got enough products and you need to do all this automated marketing, this is perfect little tool. It's a great little app. And I've put, just show you like Entreport. If you've not seen Entreport, okay, let's, Entreport is, let it load. It's Entreport. Just check the pricing while I'm here. Entreport used to be called, I've actually forgot the name of the, what it used to be. But it had, you can go through and look at the features. It's 297, okay, slightly more than I said. But these tools have the shopping cart, they have everything all built into them, okay. Really good. If you're into marketing and getting your whole business going, this is where you want to be aiming to have either Entreport or Infusionsoft. I use both with clients. So I'd log into their site, so I log into their Infusionsoft accounts and I set up their sequences and things like that. Let's have a look. So yeah, there's loads of other marketing tools. Again, I'm just skimming the ones that I like and the ones I've used as well, or use already as it is. Where are we? Shopping carts. I know you're all still with us, which is good. This is probably my last couple of slides. So here we are, look, shopping carts. Right now, if you need to set up just a shop and you can afford £47 a month, I would recommend Shopify because it is a superb shopping cart platform. If you want to go the slightly cheaper route, then you could look at using WordPress, using WooCommerce. Saying that, I'm now about to test a full site on WooCommerce to see if it can stand up to Shopify. I'm pretty sure it will actually. I think actually I started using Shopify and I've realized that everything I need can be done with WooCommerce cheaper, and it has some more features. The only thing with Shopify is they have different apps that you can buy and it starts increasing, but it's a very good shopping cart platform. Vend is actually a point of sale system, something I use with a client, and it connects to Shopify, which means inside their shop they can sell stuff in the shop and it syncs to Shopify. Okay, so Vend is a POS, a point of sale system. I've just put that there. Again, Infusionsoft, Entreport, they both have shopping carts built into them, so you can have a whole shopping cart system. Payment processing, I'm going to be doing a whole webinar on this. I might even put a whole webinar, like 3 or 4 webinars together, because payment processing can be something that people get so confused with, or they spend so long thinking about it that they can't even complete whatever it is they're trying to do. So I've just put these ones here. PayPal, you'd have heard of ClickBank, JVZoo, one shopping cart as well. Stripe's a payment processing company. It's a little bit technical, but if you don't have a Stripe account yet, go and set one up, because I'll show you in another webinar the stuff that I'm doing with Stripe. And basically, this week I've been tested about 7 or 8 different shopping carts or payment processing tools that allow anyone to set up to sell a digital product or sell anything online and deliver it securely through like a digital delivery software, and it just makes life so much easier rather than trying to even build a whole website to sell something digitally. Okay, so I'm going to do a whole webinar on this particular topic. Another one is Gumroad. It's pretty new. You can go and set up a Gumroad account. It's free. They deposit into PayPal, I think, but you can literally accept credit card payments on a site with just a Gumroad account. Okay, there's just a couple there. I'm not going to go too much into that. Okay, couple more here. We've got, look, just really the last bits I'm going to say is just the hardware that I use for stuff. I've got a Samsung mic. It is the CO1U. I use that for my audio, my podcasting, my screencasts, because the audio quality I get with that in ScreenFlow is much better. Okay, so Samsung mic. If you can afford it, your budget, get one. I think it was £60. They do have if you can afford a Samsung mic, and you might even want to go up the next level and get an Audio Technic, like about £90. It makes such a difference. This one's doing all right for me, so I'm not going to change it. great little, it's just definitely worth having a good mic. If you plan to do webinars, plan to record screencasts, or you're making products, you want to have a good mic. Audio is a key thing. And obviously using, right now, now I've gone Mac and I'm using more Mac for everything. Everything seems to work so much better. Even like using the headphones on what I'm doing this webinar on right now, I'm using the headphones as the default iPhone headphones with the speaker, because I tested this earlier and it wasn't as good quality with Meeting Burner. So I don't know whether it's something in Meeting Burner or not, but anyway, hardware. Phone, obviously I'm going to say an iPhone because I use it, but if you can, everything I pretty much do on my iPhone I could do with an Android phone. By this I really just mean a smartphone, okay? The reason being is that I can record HD video on my phone, I can record MP3s from my phone, I can sync all the files and photos from my phone into the cloud. Okay, all the apps, like I put cloud apps here. So basically Google Docs, I have it on my phone, I have Receipt Bank, I have Google Drive, Google Plus. So everything work related that I do on my phone generally syncs into the cloud or syncs to my Mac. I don't use iCloud because it's way expensive for what it has. People get caught out by the 5 GB limit. You get 5 GB free with Google Drive, but then you can have 100 GB of Google Drive for $9.99, and it does exactly the same as iCloud. Sorry, for $1.99. So you can save yourself a good 20 quid a month. I know people are paying stupid money for iCloud. Great service, but just if you can save a fortune with these other services out there. Obviously messaging, I have Google Hangouts in my phone. I can message, and obviously Skype again. Have all these messaging apps, and I can do stuff from my phone, or even I can sync the same apps onto my iPad. Don't believe when you hear people say, they run their life from their iPads and things. It's not really that. There's certain things you can do on the iPad, but usually I want a decent keyboard personally, and I need to create like screencasts and things. I can do a lot of stuff mobile, which is good for small minor changes. But if I need to fix something on a website or make a sales page or a squeeze page, you can't do it all from your iPad. So when you hear these people living these mobile lives from their iPads, a lot of it's just crap. They're not actually doing the main core things. They may have set up their previous business and they've done all the core work, and they're now checking their emails and things. But that's just, anyway, personally my opinion. I put here sync Chrome. This is a really cool feature with Chrome. I can sync Chrome on my phone into my browser on my MacBook. Okay, so if I find something, I'm reading something on my phone, and then I can come into open up my MacBook, and I can bring up the exact same web page because it syncs through the Chrome browser, which is just things like that, just time savers. And I've put there a picture of my MacBook. There you go. MacBook, this one tool alone has improved productivity for me. I'm just really showing you the tool that one of my favorite tools is because it's basically improved everything I do, like within either the quality of things that I can do, like images, I can make screencasts, or the video editing. I find it much easier to use, and it's just one of my favorite tools for everything right now, only because I can sync stuff. I'm not saying to you go and buy a MacBook at all. If you can afford it, they do 0% finance over Christmas. If you want one, just get one. I've just started moving everything I do now because it's so cloud-based as such. It's all on the line. It's online. It's on the web. It doesn't matter what PC or computer I'm at. I can do it all from. I can do it anywhere effectively. But the apps now that you can get you couldn't get them previously for Mac when Camtasia first came out, but now pretty much you can. If you're doing product creation or any type of online marketing, you can pretty much find the same software for Mac and PC right now. And there's a picture of my desk. One tip here, this is my last tip for you about productivity. And why I took a picture of my desk, where I'm looking at right now, is because you'll see I've got another monitor up there, okay? So for productivity, if, again, if you can afford yourself £60 or whatever it is, you can get yourself a second monitor. Having a second monitor will increase your own productivity so much, because you can, especially if you're watching videos, okay? So if you're watching, like a video training session or something, say if you've done your own, say if you're following one of my courses, you can watch the videos on one screen while you're actually doing it on the other screen. So you could have your own website open on the screen, and then you could watch the video training on the other screen. I use it for things like when I'm editing a website, I can open up the website on the second monitor, and I can work on the website in WordPress in the back end, and I can just keep refreshing and seeing how it looks. And it also means I can open up multiple browsers, and I can sort of, I can have Firefox, for example, open on one screen, and I'm working in another browser on another screen. Say if I have to test things where you can't log in on the same browser session, just things like that. I could just do so much stuff quicker because I have a second monitor. If you get one of them, if you can afford a second monitor, or if you've got an old PC lying around, just get a second monitor, get the cable. You see I've got the cable here for the Mac, but you'll get this little cable. The only thing that might be stopping you is your graphics card on your PC. If it doesn't allow you to have a dual monitor in, check it first, obviously, before you go and buy a monitor. But that, to me, is one of the best things. If I'm ever out working, if I ever go and work from a cafe or I'm somewhere, having a second monitor is something I really miss. Maybe I should try and invent a little second. I know you can actually dual monitor the iPad. You can get that to become the second monitor, which I've not done yet, but that's something I could think of. But I miss my second monitor wherever I can get so much more done. Like, for example, right now, I have, my webinar meeting burner application open in my second monitor. I have, I've got screens up. In fact, I can just click to it and show you exactly what I've got up there. So there's my second monitor, what you see on the screen. So I've got the PowerPoint presentation up. I've got another browser, Firefox, or another Chrome tab. I've got Firefox open with Meeting Burner. So you can get an idea. It's basically, it just allows me to do so much more, really. Yeah, so they're just some of the tools, guys, that I use. I was just going to show you, especially if you're inside. This is where it works. I'm just going to show you this. This is actually a site that I've just built. I'm going to show you it because it's got, basically it's just a little mini site that I just built. Some of you would have seen it. Some of you I know are even members of it. So when I talk about product creation, I'd say WordPress is one of the main things I use. It's because I can build little sites like this. I just want to show you this. This is going to be the last thing, and we're pretty much done. And well, we are done. We can, if you have any questions, obviously you can all fire away. But I'm going to show you this. So this is inside my WordPress course, or my SEO course I made. But this is basically all done with Optimized Press. Okay, and it basically, everything you see here is just built with Optimized Press. But what this allows me to do is the reason I said before at the start, WordPress is one of my, main, tools that I use. Let me just change this region here. There we go. Yeah, so WordPress, I can build quick sites like this. This is, it's a membership site. Basically, people join it and they get instant access. It's all set up through PayPal and Optimized Press. But I can just build little sites. It's just a quick site. All the Vimeo, it's used for, delivering the videos. You scroll down, you've got all the other training videos here. And again, people can just jump to it, watch what they want. The videos are all in HD. They can put it into full screen. These videos, the only way you could rip these videos is by getting a downloader and hacking them off the site. They won't play on any other website. That's why I use Vimeo. Okay, so they're secured just to this domain name. And, this is basically it. You've got it's just done with WordPress. So I've got pages. the blogs there, and you can go back to the dashboard. That's the kind of stuff that I build for other clients, build for myself. That's the kind of thing I'm going to be building, offering to sell and help to other people. It's really sort of either membership templates that I do, but it just shows you, like, whether you're trying to create products or you're doing stuff for business or you're doing stuff for other clients, you don't have to complicate too much. Okay, you can, just do things with WordPress. You can either create membership sites to sell downloadable products. I could pretty much do everything with just using WordPress and OptimizePress. Actually, I could do the whole membership, lead build, list building, everything with them two applications. But great little tool. I could show you loads of other little sites I've worked on and built, even just a couple this week. I'm not going to go any more. I think I've probably kept you all long enough anyway. But so there you have it, guys. There are some of the tools, just some of the tools that I'm using. I've put together a list. At the moment, it is about 40 pages of all the other tools that I use. So whether it's for shopping carts or whether it's for in customer, management tools, all the other webinar scripts. I think I've covered them, but things, just all the other tools. There's so many other little tools for design, and some people I've used on Fiverr who are pretty good at things. Some of them, like I say, are absolutely rubbish, and you get what you pay for on Fiverr. But even to some of the other outsourcing sites, tracking programs, all that kind of stuff, I've got, like I say, a whole resource. I'm just putting it together. What I'll do is I'll probably put it as a blog post on my site when it's complete, or I'm having a more in-depth one, which I'll email out to you guys on this webinar. But it's something I was initially just going to put it as an ebook to sell. So I might even still put it up like on Kindle or something to sell, because I think it'll probably be nearly over 60 pages when it's done. So there's just all the tools that I use every day, whether I'm doing product creation or marketing, really. But yeah, so anyway, look, I might say thank you to everyone. We've run over an hour here, so thank you so much for giving up your Wednesday night. It really, it means a lot, and hopefully you'll come back and you want me to do other ones, or want me to do more webinars. That's kind of my plan. I'm going to be running them every week. So this one's gone on way too long. I probably had too many slides, but next time I could probably there's a few sites I want to do critiques of sites and things, stuff like that. But now some of you have answered questions here. I'll probably email some of them to you, because they're quite long questions, and it saves me going on and on. A couple of them, Jess, yes, I'll get in touch with you. That's fine. Got another one. Okay, there's a couple. Yeah. John says, how do you remember them all? Well, I haven't. Well, I remember them all probably because I use a lot of them so regularly. But all the tools generally, that's why I'm making a list, because there are so many, and sometimes there's too many, John. So I don't want to ever complicate stuff for people. I like to keep things really simple. But when it comes to something like me, for example, if I have to set up a payment system for a client, and I'll probably end up testing maybe 10 or 20 different payment systems to make sure it does exactly what we want it to do. And then because I end up testing all them, I end up either using them myself, or I end up looking for all the pros and cons for each of them before I go back to them, and I end up just bookmarking them myself, because someone else might come along and say, I want a particular payment system which just gives me one pop-up form on a website, and I know straight away that Gumroad, and there's another 4 other ones that can do that same. They don't want PayPal, or they might want something that only works with PayPal and does digital delivery. But because I end up researching the tools, I get to sort of bookmark them and save them, so I can do webinars like this, really. So that's how I remember them all. And hopefully what it'll do is save you guys time, because I can give you the PDF that I'm making. So you can basically, if you want to go and look for something for webinars, you can just go open up the PDF, look through it. If you want to do something for analytics and tracking, you can just open up the PDF, go to it. But yeah, so they're all the That's just really a list. They're just sort of some of the tools that I use. Another question here. Your membership sites, how long does it take to build? Okay, so my membership site I just showed you, that little tiny. I've got about 3 or 4 of them, all different courses. I built another one this week. I build them a lot for clients. So it depends on how long they take. It depends on the design that someone wants. If they're not too fussy, then I can throw them together quite quickly. It really depends on. A lot of it will be down to design. If they want something really looks good, then I can spend a couple of days on it trying to make it look good. If they want something just quick and fast, then we can throw them up in a few hours. So I'll show you this one actually. I built a couple of weeks ago. I think it was about 3 weeks ago now. It's just for a person just needed a simple site to deliver for a particular. I'm going to show you this. It's a guy Lee that I work with, is a trader, and this is a real simple site. This was basics. We didn't need anything specific for this because the people who are accessing it are already members or coming onto a particular workshop. But it's the same sort of thing. We just done 4 videos. It's all he needed. So some of this took a few hours to build, and then it's basically 5 videos. And the actual technical part of this was that we had to integrate it with Infusionsoft. So when they paid through Infusionsoft, they were automatically added into Optimize Press as a member within WordPress. Okay, so they paid. When they paid, Infusionsoft sent the data over to this WordPress site, and it automatically created an account, and then emailed back the customer and said, there's your login details, go and log in. So they can come in, they can see these pre-course material that it's set up. And so that was it. It's a quick site. So some of them take longer, some of them don't. I also have templates like this, which I'm going to be giving out to people, and some of them I'm going to be selling because I have templates ready-made for membership sites. So you can just go and import them straight into WordPress. So I know that will come in handy for some people. So that's just one site. That was one of the most recent ones. I was working on that again today. So yeah, it don't take long. Good question. But obviously it doesn't. I don't mean that it doesn't take long for me because I know WordPress inside out. I know Optimize Press. But you could learn the basics that you need to do just for putting an online course. This is one of the things. This is why I'm making a webinar on product creation, because people get so hooked up with the techie stuff. They're not trying to. They can spend months trying to learn how to do something technically when they just don't need to. They can throw up a simple site or just use another shopping cart, delivery sort of method. Okay, so it's one of the main things. I hate to see people never complete something because they've spent too long trying to learn the technical side of stuff. So that's really why. Sorry, another question. Talk about dual monitor. Yeah, my dual monitor. I think it's Hans G. I think I got it off Amazon. It was I think it was 50 or 60 pounds, something like that. It's a 22 inch, and my MacBook is a 15 inch. That screen. So yeah. So they've asked what. Yeah, it's a 15 inch MacBook Pro, and yeah, I've got a low battery look coming in. There we go. So yeah, it's a 15-inch MacBook, and it's the screen itself. I think it's 21 or 22 inch. We've got another question there. Okay, Tony, I'll email you separately because that's probably not related to this webinar. That'll be for membership site stuff. Yeah, I can email you separately. Hope you don't mind. That's just because it's not relevant to this webinar at all. People will be lost with my answer probably. Anyway, look guys, I'm going to end. Thank you so much. As always, you've got any emails, just email me. You can email me, David Frozik, support at David Frozik, either of them, davidfrozik.com. They come through. Thank you again so much. Look out for next week's webinar. I might even do it on a Tuesday night. I'll check what football's on, and Might have some other things on Wednesday night, so I'm either going to do it Tuesday or Thursday, just depends on what's happening. So look guys, I love you and leave you all. Thank you so much. And I'll put the recording up, yes. Yes, Ali said, I'll put the recording up. I know there's a few other people who have not even made the webinar, so they want to see the recording. I'll put it up. Excellent. Okay, right, I will leave it there and leave you all to carry on your evening. Thanks so much for joining us.